Under the clear skies of a small town in the United States, Nicole, a radiant 24-year-old woman with expressive eyes and a luminous smile, seemed to share a marriage with Lucas, a 25-year-old man of measured speech and a distant gaze. The two were building a life together with gentle conversations and exchanged glances, giving the impression of a peaceful and harmonious union. Eddie, a robust and healthy 43-year-old man, held the duality of being Lucas's father and the owner of a thriving local business. His sharp eyes and friendly smile concealed the concern he felt for Nicole and Lucas's relationship. The camaraderie that Eddie shared with Nicole was visible, making their conversations light and full of understanding. On a sunny afternoon, as the rays of sun caressed their skin and the breeze danced among the leaves, Nicole, with a dreamy sigh, confided in Eddie. "I've always dreamed of being a mother, of hearing children's laughter filling every corner of the house, of creating unforgettable memories." Eddie, sharing an understanding glance, replied, "Nicole, motherhood is a gift, and I hope you can experience that joy." Lucas, on the other hand, appeared hesitant about the topic. Whenever the subject came up, his eyes would avoid, and his words became evasive. "Nicole, we have all the time in the world. We don't need to rush things," he said, trying to mask his lack of interest with a forced smile. Nicole felt the disparity in their desires, but saw patience and love as a way to reconcile their divergent dreams. Eddie observed with wisdom and caution the nuances of his son's marriage, pondering the future and the choices that would shape their intertwined destinies. When Eddie, with a concerned expression on his face, approached Nicole and Lucas, he could sense Nicole's anguish as she saw her dreams of motherhood fading with time, and he decided to intervene. "Nicole, Lucas," he began with a gentle yet firm tone of voice, "have you ever considered undergoing fertility tests? It could be an important step in understanding and overcoming any obstacles to pregnancy." Nicole, her eyes lit up with a glimmer of hope, looked at Lucas, seeking his support. Lucas, taken by surprise, hesitated for a moment before responding, visible discomfort on his face. "Maybe you're right, Nicole. Let's go ahead with the tests," he said, trying to keep his voice steady, but uncertainty in his eyes betrayed his true feelings. When the test results came back, a shocking surprise awaited everyone. To Nicole's astonishment, Lucas was infertile. The revelation alone would have been a devastating blow, but the truth that unfolded next added an even darker layer to the story. Lucas revealed that he had secretly undergone a vasectomy. Nicole, with a broken heart and tears in her eyes, confronted Lucas. "Why, Lucas? Why would you do something like this?" she asked, pain mixing with betrayal in her gaze. Lucas, cornered, disclosed an even crueler truth. He had had an affair, and when planning to leave Nicole, opted for the vasectomy to avoid future complications. "Nicole, I didn't want things to be like this. I was lost," he admitted, but his words sounded empty in the face of the magnitude of his betrayal. The atmosphere around them grew heavy with secrets and lies, creating a rift between Lucas and Nicole. Trust and dreams were shattered as the truth echoed within the walls of the house. Each of them wondered how to rebuild from the ruins left by betrayal. Upon discovering the truth about Lucas's infertility and the betrayal that had shaken the foundation of their marriage, Nicole, shaken, found herself in a whirlwind of emotions. Her gaze drifted to the horizon as tears carved paths of sorrow on her face, each drop carrying the pain of shattered dreams. Needing a friendly shoulder, she sought out Eddie, who was anxious about the test results and still unaware of his son's actions. Sitting on the porch of the house under the starry sky, Nicole revealed, her voice trembling, the complexity of the situation. "Eddie, I found out something that tore me apart. Lucas can't have children, and he cheated on me." Eddie, with eyes reflecting empathy and a hint of anger, embraced Nicole, sharing the silence that carried the weight of 1,000 words. "Nicole, I'm so sorry about all of this. If there's anything I can do, Please let me know. Nicole, wiping away her tears and gathering strength from the depths of her being, looked into Eddie's eyes and said, determined, I still want to be a mother, Eddie. I'm considering undergoing artificial insemination. I won't let the dream of motherhood die because of Lucas's selfish actions, even if I have to be a single mother. Eddie, listening attentively, momentarily concealed the enigmatic glint in his eyes, revealing an inscrutable demeanor. Nicole, you have my full support. Tell me all the details of the procedure. I want to be by your side every step of the way. Their conversation flowed, addressing every aspect of the artificial insemination process. Eddie, concealing his true intentions, asked about donor selection and how Nicole felt about each decision to be made. Nicole, grateful for the support, felt a spark of hope ignite in her heart, illuminating the darkness of betrayal with the possibility of a new life. One morning, Nicole, feeling a wave of emotion and anxiety, awaited the pregnancy test result. As she saw the 2 lines appear, a mix of joy and relief flooded her being. The artificial insemination had been successful, and she was pregnant. Sitting in the living room, she held the test with trembling hands while an unrestrained smile painted promises of a future filled with love. By her side, Eddie watched the scene with peculiar enthusiasm. Despite Lucas's betrayal, Eddie felt like a grandfather about to welcome new members into the family. Nicole, still absorbed in the news, turned to Eddie and said, I can't believe it, Eddie. I'm going to be a mother, and it's all thanks to your unwavering support. Her eyes sparkled with the prospect of finally realizing her dream of motherhood. Eddie, tenderly caressing Nicole's face, replied with a mysterious smile, Nicole, you deserve all the happiness in the world. I'm as excited as you are to welcome these children into our lives. The donor's identity remained a mystery to Nicole. In her search for some connection to the past, she had chosen a profile that bore resemblance to Lucas. Despite the situation, she found Lucas very attractive and, in a way, she had grown fond of him, hoping that somehow the visual connection could bridge what was and what was to come. While Nicole shared her dreams and expectations for the arrival of the babies, Eddie, lost in his thoughts, contemplated something beyond the visible. The peculiar enthusiasm he displayed did not go unnoticed by Nicole, who, however, attributed it to the joy the future grandchildren brought. Eddie, you seem so enthusiastic. I think these babies will have the most dedicated grandfather in the world, Nicole commented, caressing the belly that would soon begin to grow. Eddie, with an enigmatic smile, simply replied, Nicole, these children are a miracle, and I look forward to watching them grow and thrive in our arms. Even though Lucas did what he did, I won't abandon you. Behind his words, a secret still remained hidden, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. The day arrived when Nicole gave birth to 2 beautiful children. Nicole, with her eyes shining with maternal love, cradled in her arms 2 little miracles, a pair of twins who filled her days with light and hope. As she held them, the scars of the past were softened by the gentle melody of children's laughter. Eddie, the paternal figure rooted in compassion and support, remained by Nicole's side, strengthening the bonds that had tied them during turbulent times. His eyes filled with tenderness as he watched the twins at play, and love bloomed in every gesture and word. Nicole, these children are our second chance, proof that love always finds a way, Eddie said, holding one of the little hands exploring the world with innocent curiosity. Nicole, however, couldn't help but notice the growing resemblance between Eddie and the twins, the same penetrating eyes, warm smile, and even gestures. A reflection so clear that planted seeds of suspicion in her heart. Eddie, it's strange. They look so much like you. Sometimes I wonder, Nicole confided, her voice hesitant, revealing the thoughts that troubled her. Eddie, feeling the weight of the truth on his shoulders, faced an internal dilemma. Nicole, I will always be here for you, no matter what happens. These children are a part of us, of our history, he replied, averting his gaze, trying to conceal the secret locked in his heart. The atmosphere was filled with unspoken questions and pending revelations. Nicole, seeking answers in every glance and gesture, felt that the truth was on the verge of being unraveled. Eddie, on the other hand, walked a tightrope between unconditional love and the fear of losing everything they had built together. The air was charged with tension and expectations as Eddie, with a serious and profound look, sat in front of Nicole. Her suspicions surrounded him like persistent shadows, and he knew that the moment of truth had arrived. The sound of the twins playing in the background seemed distant as he gathered the courage to reveal the secret he had kept for so long. "Eddie," Nicole began, her voice choked with emotion, "there's something you need to know, something I should have told you a long time ago." Nicole stared at him, her eyes filled with questions, and her heart racing, awaiting the revelation she felt was about to come. She held her breath as Eddie continued. I am the anonymous donor. I am the biological father of the twins." Shock registered on Nicole's face, and silence lingered for a moment that felt like an eternity. Eddie, with tears in his eyes, justified, "I just wanted to preserve your marriage. When I found out that Lucas couldn't have children, I couldn't bear the thought of seeing you suffer. And who knows, if Lucas saw the babies looking like him, he might come back. I wanted you to have the family you had always dreamed of." Nicole, struggling against a flood of emotions, absorbed Eddie's words. The initial shock gave way to understanding and ultimately acceptance. "Eddie, I understand," she said, holding his hands. "I was so lost, so desperate to be a mother. It all makes sense now. Your care, your love for them." Eddie, feeling the relief of a burden being lifted from his shoulders, squeezed Nicole's hands. "I just wanted you to be happy. I would do anything for you and the children." Nicole, looking into his eyes, replied, "Eddie, you acted out of love. I can't hold any resentment. We are a family, no matter how it was formed." And so, amidst revelations and acceptance, Nicole and Eddie found a fresh start, a new understanding of the love and family they had built. United by the truth, they embraced their destiny, ready to face the future together. In the months following Eddie's revelation, a new kind of companionship and understanding grew between him and Nicole. Shared laughter, exchanged glances, and moments of comfortable silence began to weave a tapestry of affection and care between them. Eddie, with his hair beginning to show signs of silver, and Nicole, with resilient sparkle in her eyes, often found themselves in the late afternoons to talk about their day while watching the children play in the yard. It was in one of these quiet moments that Eddie, with a hesitant sigh, broke the silence. "Nicole, there's something that has been growing in my heart, something I can no longer ignore." Nicole, feeling warmth in her chest, looked at him attentively, sensing the seriousness in his gaze. "Eddie, you can tell me anything. We'll always be in this together," Eddie, holding Nicole's hands, revealed. "I've discovered that my feelings for you go beyond friendship and paternal affection, Nicole. I'm in love with you." Nicole's heart beat strongly, and she smiled tenderly, admitting, "Eddie, I feel something more, too. A love that goes beyond gratitude and friendship." Despite the reciprocity of their feelings, they both knew they would face society's judgments and criticism. Eddie, a widower, and Nicole, divorced, represented an unconventional union. "We'll encounter many stares and whispers," Nicole pondered. "But the happiness of the children and ours is what truly matters." Eddie, squeezing Nicole's hands, affirmed, "We are building something precious here. We won't let the world outside dictate what's right for us and the children." Determined to build a new life together, Eddie and Nicole embraced the challenges and judgments. United by the love that had flourished in the fields of adversity, they prioritized the happiness and well-being of the children, facing the future with courage and hope. And so, with each passing day, they solidified the certainty that together they formed an indestructible family. At the peak of their newfound relationship, Eddie and Nicole realized that every step they took together was accompanied by a cacophony of whispers and piercing glances. Society, in its relentless judgment, spared no criticism for their unconventional union. However, Eddie remained steadfast like a rock in the face of adversity, shielding Nicole and the children with unwavering determination. In every social occasion, he faced the biting comments with majestic serenity, countering them with wisdom and calm. "You may not understand the depth of what binds us," he said with conviction. But Nicole was a victim of Lucas's actions. "She deserves happiness, and that's what we are building together." Nicole, by his side, recognized Eddie's strength and integrity, feeling a growing admiration for him. In more private moments, she thanked him. "Eddie, your strength inspires me. Without you, I don't know if I could face all of this," Eddie, holding her hand gently, replied. "Nicole, the love we have, the family we are building, is worth any sacrifice. Let's focus on what truly matters, our children and the life we are creating." It was common to see them at family gatherings, ignoring the whispers, enveloped in their bubble of happiness and love. Always prioritizing the well-being of the twins, the smiles of the children, the joy in their eyes were the fuel that propelled them forward to face the world and its prejudices. Nicole and Eddie became inspirations of love and understanding amidst the threads of adversity. United by unexpected bonds, they found in the chaos of the past a gentle melody that would guide them to a harmonious future, proving that even in the midst of betrayals and disappointments, the seed of happiness can be cultivated. The house they shared became a sanctuary of love where each laughter from the twins resonated like a hymn of hope, and where every exchanged glance was a silent testimony to a love that had flourished in the unlikely. Nicole, as she watched Eddie playing with the children, felt her heart overflowing with gratitude. "Who would have thought, Eddie, that we would find the light at the end of such a dark tunnel?" she reflected, her eyes sparkling. Eddie, with a warm smile, replied, "Nicole, life has a peculiar way of surprising us. I found you and our children, and that's more than I could have dreamed of." They shared stories, laughed together, and deepened the bonds that united them. With each passing day, the community initially resistant to their union began to witness the authenticity of their love and commitment to the children's happiness. Murmurs of disapproval were replaced by recognition and respect. "Look at how happy they are, how they take care of each other and the children," the neighbors commented. Nicole and Eddie inadvertently became ambassadors of resilience and unconditional love. Candlelit conversations, family outings, moments of shared tenderness, every fragment of their lives together was a celebration of love that defied the odds. Nicole, holding Eddie's hand, confessed, "You showed me that love can arise when we least expect it, that we can rebuild our happiness." Eddie, squeezing her hand affectionately, reassured her. "And you, Nicole, taught me that it's possible to forgive, start over, and find joy in the little things. Together, we are unstoppable." Then came the day when Nicole and Eddie decided to seal their union. The atmosphere was light, filled with the melody of laughter and the promise of happy days. Among the guests who shared that moment, Lucas's absence was an unspoken silence, a page turned in the history they were writing. "Are you ready for this new chapter, Nicole?" Eddie asked, his eyes shining with excitement as he held her hands. Nicole, with a smile radiating happiness, replied, "By your side, Eddie, I'm ready for anything. We've already overcome so much. This is our moment of happiness." The wedding was a mosaic of unforgettable moments, with each detail reflecting the love and companionship they had cultivated. They exchanged heartfelt vows, promising eternal love and unconditional support under the watchful eyes of the twins and loved ones. The celebration was permeated with joy, each dance, each toast, a prelude to the harmony they wished to perpetuate in their lives. Months later, the joy in the house multiplied with the arrival of another family member. The news of Nicole's pregnancy was received with enthusiasm, and Eddie moved. Said Nicole, "Our love continues to bear fruit, and I am infinitely grateful for every moment we have together." Nicole, caressing her belly, shared the same excitement. Every day with you is a blessing, Eddie. This baby is another symbol of our love. Life continued its peaceful and happy course for 4 years. With each new dawn, they grew in love and unity, and the children were the reflection of the happiness that inhabited their home. Conversations around the dinner table, outings in the park, simple yet meaningful moments, composed the symphony of the life they had chosen to live together. Eddie, embracing Nicole and watching the children play, exclaimed, "Look at us, Nicole, we found happiness in the most unexpected place." "I love you and our family more than words can express," Nicole, with tears of gratitude in her eyes, replied, "And I love you, Eddie. We are living proof that love always finds a way." For years had passed since Nicole and Eddie decided to start a new life together. The atmosphere in the house was peaceful and happy, and the laughter of the children echoed through the walls, filling every room with joy. On a beautiful day, the family gathered for a special lunch when an unexpected figure appeared at the door. Lucas, Eddie, surprised and cautious, opened the door for his son, with whom he had had no contact all those years. "Lucas, I didn't expect to see you here," Eddie said, a mixture of emotions crossing his gaze. Lucas, his face marked by time and the choices of the past, replied, "Dad, it's been a while." As they sat down at the table, Eddie told Lucas about the 3 children who now brightened up the house. The atmosphere once filled with harmony became tense with the revelation. Lucas, incredulous, couldn't hide the surprise and confusion in his gaze. "What do you mean, 3 children? Whose children are these?" Lucas questioned. "They're mine," Eddie said, and Lucas found it funny. "At your age, Dad?" Then Eddie explained the story to Lucas, his story with Nicole. The discussion heated up, with words becoming harsher with each exchange. Lucas, shaken, accused his father of betraying him, of building a new family behind his back. "You replaced me, you and Nicole planned all of this," Lucas exclaimed, anger evident in his eyes. Eddie, keeping his calm, reminded his son of his own actions, of how he had betrayed Nicole and destroyed his own marriage. "Lucas, you made your choices, you abandoned Nicole. We found happiness in adversity, and these children are the result of true love," Eddie defended himself, sincerity in his words. The lunch, which should have been a moment of celebration, turned into a battlefield of emotions and revelations. Nicole, observing the argument, tried to mediate the situation, reminding both of the value of forgiveness and the importance of family. "Lucas, we all make mistakes. What's important is that we learn from them and seek redemption," Nicole said, hoping to bring peace to that turbulent gathering. The atmosphere was charged, and the exchanged glances revealed years of hurt and resentment. However, in the midst of the chaos, there was also the possibility of reconciliation, of healing the wounds of the past. The house, which had been the stage for so many happy moments, now witnessed a meeting that could mean a new beginning for everyone. After the intense discussion, Lucas stood up, his shoulders heavy, and his gaze distant, and walked toward the door. The ensuing silence was almost palpable, broken only by the sound of footsteps echoing on the wooden floor. Pausing at the threshold, he turned, casting one last look at the family that had once been his. I see I have no moral ground to criticize you, Dad," Lucas admitted, his voice choked with emotion. "I was the architect of my own destruction. I just hope that one day we can find common ground." Eddie, looking deeply into his son's eyes, responded with a serenity acquired through years of life and wisdom. "Lucas, we all have a chance to learn and grow. Perhaps time can bring the understanding and acceptance we need." With a silent nod, Lucas left the house, his footsteps echoing in the quiet of the day. The door closed behind him, marking the distance between the paths each had chosen to follow. Nicole, holding Eddie's hand, whispered, "Maybe he will find the peace he needs. We all deserve a second chance." Years passed, and life continued its course. Lucas, on his solitary journey, reflected on the events that had led him to that point. Isolation provided him with the opportunity to confront his demons, and over time, he began to accept the unusual relationship between his father and his ex-wife. One day, while walking down the street, Lucas looked up and saw Eddie and Nicole playing with the children in the park. A shy smile appeared on his lips as he noticed the genuine joy radiating from them. The scene, which had once caused him pain, now brought a strange sense of contentment. Acceptance is the first step to peace, Lucas murmured to himself, observing from a distance the family he had come to understand. Perhaps, he thought, destiny had its own reasons, and love found its most unexpected paths. And with a light sigh, Lucas continued on his way, leaving behind a past filled with lessons and a future filled with possibilities. Thank you for joining us today on Deep Stories. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video.